one time. Saw this like cool edit on TikTok or something. I was like, yeah, man, gonna get all the Dead Space games. So went on Steam. It was on sale. And for like 33 smackaroons, I got all three Dead Space games. And I played the first one, which I loved. I was a little burned out going on to the second one, but I persevered. And let me tell you, in fact, let me make like a whole video essay thing about how big Dead Space 2 is. So, for a brief summary of the first game's story, obvious spoiler warnings for both the first two games, but you play as an engineer named Isaac Clarke who works for this mining company called CEC, and there's this big mining ship called the Ishimura, which is mining some rocks and shit on this planet called Aegis 7. The Ishimura sends out a distress signal, which you and your team respond to on a repair mission led by this dude Hammond. When you get there, you realize your ship's like all fucked up and there's weird shit going on, and then your team gets like jumped by these aliens called necromorphs, and they slime your boy Chen, and he's like fucking dead. He's dead as shit, though. And it's also important to note that your girlfriend Nicole is on the ship, and she's a doctor, and she's like talking to you throughout the game. So you're trying to link up and like save her while fixing the ship and figuring out what the fuck's up with the alien critters everywhere. As you progress the game, you realize they're like not aliens and they're zombie jets. So these bad things like skull-fucked corpses, and then they turn into necromorphs. After learning this, you like start to find out that this weird-ass like religious cult called Unitology, which serves the church, and like a bunch of these Unitologists are like a part of the Ishimura's crew, and they're digging up this thing on the planet Aegis 7. It's called the Marker, and that's the thing that like reanimates the dead people, which the Unitologists pretty much think is like immortality and like unity after life. So they're like sacrificing people and turning them into necromorphs to like, I don't really know, like make the Marker happy or some shit, because it's sentient, like it speaks to people in its own language to reanimate the dead people, and also affects alive people to convince them to build more markers. So you like navigate to fix the ship and also destroy the marker to stop the aliens from getting to Earth, because it turns out the Ishimura captain and higher ups are all a part of the church, and they're trying to get the marker back to Earth, which would be like bad because these necromorphs be killing like absolutely everybody, bro. And the scientist, you meet the scientist called, he kills the captain, but his name's Kine, and he tells you they're removing the marker from Aegis 7 woke up this hive mind that's like gonna murk everybody. So he helps you figure out how to return the marker to Aegis 7, and this seems like all good, but when you're about to meet up with him, the last person who's alive on your team, called Kendra Daniels, he just fucking shoots him and runs off with the marker, because it turns out the marker was put there like hundreds of years ago by EarthGov, which is like the government of Earth, to test like what it would do to people. So she's there to take it and get it back to EarthGov, so no one else like fucks around with it. Because of all we learn about it, we know that's not gonna like go well and cause some problems, because it'll make everyone on Earth like want to make more markers. But it's chill because our girlfriend Nicole shows up and like controls Daniel's ship remotely to come back to the Ishimura, so you can return the marker. And you go to return the marker, and it turns out the marker is mind controlling you. When you're on like Aegis 7, you realize this, and your girlfriend Nicole is actually some random scientist who the marker was also mind controlling to think that you were her dead boyfriend. And Daniel actually shows up on Aegis 7 to stop you from returning it, and she's the one that like shows you. And she shows you this video log, which Isaac refused to finish at the start of the game, and Nicole pretty much game ends herself by lethal injection, like before you even get there. And returning the marker actually ends up blowing up the gravity tethers on Aegis 7, so a big like fuck-ass rock is plummeting straight towards the planet. And when you try to escape, Daniels points a gun at you, saying you're like infected or some shit now, and ends up getting slammed on the floor by the hive mind and dies. The final boss of the game is the hive mind, which is like pretty alright for a final boss, but after you defeat it, you escape on the shuttle Daniels came in, and the game ends with you like flying back to Earth before panning to Isaac's right. We get jump scared by like a weird evil Nicole.
Isaac, it's me. I wish I could talk to you.
Isaac, sorry, it's me. I
wish I could talk to you. I'm sorry.
And going unconscious, which sets up the second game, showing how you're like cooked and constantly tweaking because of the marker. I mean, I missed a few details, but most of them will be explained when I like talk about the story of Dead Space, because it just makes more sense to talk about them there. And straight into Dead Space 2, we get this like little flashback of a video call between Isaac and Nicole, and unfortunately this shows us that Isaac was like the whole reason Nicole went aboard the Ishimura, pretty much convincing her to do it, which obviously results in a lot of guilt for her death, which is super relevant to this game's story. Isaac wakes up in this mental ward and they ask him about all these visions you're having, and asking about his dead girlfriend Nicole, who we're hallucinating giving up by injection in the corner. And old mate across the table is like mad interrogating us about what we saw on the Ishimura. And then when Isaac mentions the marker, it's pretty obvious that this dude knows exactly what it is. But we're rudely interrupted by a tweak in Nicole who's like insanely scary, talking about like make us whole, which you know is like obviously the marker talking, but this phrase is super important later. Then we like pass out because of a jump scare from Nicole, and we wake up to some random dude talking to us about how we're getting rescued. And similarly to every character we meet at the start of these games, he gets his head impaled by a freaky ass bat. So GG's go next, he's a necromorph now, so bad luck. Anyway, the bro's dead, and we run around in the straitjacket until some crazy dude cuts us out, and we get a flashlight, and then find some random dude on a bench about to get sliced open by some laser cutters, which we steal and we put on our flashlight, and yippee yay, now we have this game's plasma cutter, which is like the most iconic weapon in these games. One of the dead dude's friend connects to our rig and starts telling us how to escape because she's trying to save us, and everybody else trying to kill us because we're like our main subject, whatever the fuck that mean. So our new friend Dana starts giving us instructions on where to go, and we end up in this Church of Unitology, which is where this gameplay that I'm playing from starts, because I accidentally didn't record the first 2 chapters, but now we're all caught up. But this is good news because it means I can talk about the gameplay that we're seeing, which is one of the key differences across Dead Space 1 and Dead Space 2. Dead Space 1's gameplay was good, but often repetitive. There's limited enemy types, there's not much kind of flair, everything's the same, all the mini games and the challenges feel the same. So this little challenge you do with your kinesis, which is pretty much just lets you control things in the air. It's a pretty self-explanatory game mechanic for people that don't know the series. But yeah, this little challenge here was quite fun, a little different. And then you got the vents as well, and also the hacking mechanic, which I'm not sure if I have any gameplay of this, but there'll be some later on which I'll explain. It's different. It's just a fun little mini game which just, you know, spices things up. And then we also have this like really cool scene where we get jump scared by Nicole, and oh shit, it's not Nicole, dude, it's us. We're tweaking, we're full blown skitzing out, and that kind of sets up that the marker is like out to get us. And also Nicole is just very different in this game. You could kind of tell something was off about her in the first game, but she was just very nice and very overly nice, but we just thought she was like cooked in the noggin because she's, you know, seen all these critters. But in this game, bro, she is just evil. She's just trying to like kill us and like haunt us. So, and then in this next segment we get like kind of proof of the improvement on the horror aspects. So we get introduced to this new enemy called the necromorph stalker, and this thing like hides behind walls and makes all these noises, and they're really quick, they're really fast, and the sound design in this game I think is a lot better than the first game. In the first game there's a lot of like scuffling and like whispering from the marker, but it gets pretty old pretty quick because you know there's not a credible threat behind it. Whereas in this game you got these stalker enemies, and these things are scary, dude. There's lots of interactions where I'm just like, I'm full tweaking out. You can kind of see by the way I'm aiming that I'm like very on edge. And so I think the horror elements in this game are much more heightened. So I really rate the horror in this version a lot more than in the first game. And then obviously you get this this jump scare, dude, and oh my gosh, like I screamed when I was playing this. This was good, and it's stuff like this that you don't get in the first game. Obviously, it wouldn't make sense lore-wise because we kind of understand what the marker is doing to us now after the reveal of the end of the first game, which kind of just goes to show why the whole series is just really good, because the first game sets up really well what we're dealing with in the second game, and that's why I think the second game flourishes so much, as it gets a lot of opportunities in both the lore and the gameplay to improve itself. Next thing I'm going to talk about is the like interface differences. So this is the shop and the bench. So the shop you can buy stuff with your credits, and the bench you upgrade your weapons with. Now the shop in the first game was alright. I mean, yeah, I kind of just used it to buy ammo in my suit. But in this game there's like a bunch of weapons, like a bunch of different variants for the weapons, as well as the suits, which I thought was like a cool thing. You can kind of mix and match your weapons and then also still upgrade them with the bench. Power nodes, which you use to upgrade at the bench, are also far more accessible in this game, which is cool. Also because there's 2 new weapons with the javelin gun. Oh, 3, sorry. The javelin gun, the Seeker rifle, and the rivet gun. The javelin gun is like the coolest weapon they've in any of these games, which I will show some gameplay of because it's just so fucking fun to use. And yeah, this is sort of just a look at the tree for the bench, which is like a bit more fleshed out. And yeah, it's a bit more explanatory, and things aren't all condensed as they are in the first game with the suit and the stasis tool and stuff like that. So I thought that was cool. The kinesis is also a lot better in this game, because you don't have to like upgrade your kinesis in this game, which I quite like. It's just good from the start. We get a nice little drag scene, like in the first game, where you get dragged by the arm, but it's a little different, using this big long creature. I'm pretty sure this guy shows up in the first game a couple of times as well. I don't remember what these are called, but fun little jump scare here, fun little scene. I rate it. This is also where we get introduced to these, once again, don't know their names, these little baby fuckers. Well, hold on. Hold on. What I meant to say was these little fuckers. They're like baby necromorphs. And I think they're cool thematically. They kind of demand something a bit more sinister of Unitology. And the marker as well. They're kind of showing that they don't care. They're infecting babies as well. So that means there's dead children and dead babies. You'll see later that there's these little crawling babies as well, with these spores on their back. Children are kind of like a recurring theme in this game. In the first game there isn't any of them, which I think that's cool, because it kind of paints Unitology a bit more sinisterly. Yeah, there's also some unused files of some like children civilians. Yeah, so you found those in the files. That's pretty cool. They don't show up anywhere that I can see. But the implication there is that, nobody is safe from the markers, and similarly Unitology. So at the start of the game, Dana kind of said that we have this dementia, which is like affecting us badly, and that there's a cure to it, and she has the cure to it, and that's why she's rescuing us so she can help us. But it turns out Dana's a Unitologist, and she's actually not trying to help us at all. She's trying to like take our brain, because she needs our brain just in the way it is, she says, because there's something special about our brain, because we've been exposed to the marker. Dana switches up on us, she's an op, but thankfully this gunship comes out of nowhere and tries to kill us, and then we get to escape, and that is when we get one of my favorite scenes from this game, which is where we run into the Necromorph Brute in this game for the first time. which, might I say, looks so much better than it did in the first game. So in doing some research, I actually found out that thing that was chasing us is not actually a Necromorph brute. It's called the Tormentor, which is like its own enemy entirely. But I will show you when the brute comes up, and it does look a lot better. The brute in the first game, to be fair, I did play the remaster, so it is going to look a little different. But I don't know, it just is kind of ugly and fleshy, whereas the brute in Dead Space 2 is like armored, and it looks proper scary instead of just like this blob thing. Now, as you can see on screen, we're talking to a new character, so we're going to do a little story catch-up. This is Stross, who Dana told us to stay away from because he's one of the patients in the mental hospital. But in talking to Stross, we find out that they were experimenting on us at this facility, and they were giving us this medication that gives us dementia, so we forget what we're doing. They're trying to extract things from the brains of people who've had access to the marker, and turns out that Stross is like us, and he's had access to the marker, and he's getting affected by it, and so he knows how to beat it because his memories are coming back. This is also when we learn about Captain Tideman, who like owns this station, which is called the Sprawl, and yeah, he's experimenting because he's trying to build another marker, and he's trying to use our brains to build another marker. So this kind of explains why we don't remember anything between the two games, and we got picked up flying through space by Tideman, and he experimented on us because he's a unitologist and he knows that we've had access to the marker because we're fucking tweaking, and so he's trying to get the code out of our brain so that we can build another marker, because the marker tells us how to build more when we get exposed to it. A little harder to notice here, but I'm going to talk about the level design because we've actually ended up in the exact same spot that we started. So at the start of the video, the area I was exploring is now the area that we've landed back in. This is like kind of plot armor, I guess, because we flew in through a random window, but I think it's good. I think it's a productive way to use the level design, and yeah, I really like the level design of this game. I'll explain that further later, because no spoilers, but there is a really cool segment in this game where I'll talk about the level design, and I love it. So that's just like another little tidbit about why I like this game so much. I think the level design is really good and really helps the narrative a lot. This is another segment with the Necromorph Stalkers. I'm gonna let it play out. I think it's really cool. I think it's like a really good example of how they add to the horror atmosphere, and yeah, the layout of these interactions is very well done, and definitely assists in building the tension between you and the Necromorph Stalkers. I also have the Javelin gun in this gameplay. It's not upgraded, so it's not as cool as it will be later in the game, but just a little sneak peek into what it does. You can also see me at the start pick up like this little skewer with my kinesis. That's also another cool feature of this game. You can do it in the first game, but this game outright explains how to do it. You can grab the talents from dead Necromorph and kinesis them and throw them at enemies, and it's pretty fun, man. I enjoyed that a lot. And finally, here's some gameplay of the hacking mechanic. It's like a very simple mini game, kind of like a lockpicking mini games from other games, but it's just something. It just spices things up a bit. It gets a little tedious near the end of the game, but they also use it very well at the end of the game, which I'll showcase. But yeah, it just changes things up a little, so every challenge isn't the same.
You stay back. You want to talk? You talk from there.
Don't say you're gonna help. The last person who said that tried to kill me.
Hey, take it easy. I'm not gonna hurt you.
Yeah, you got that right. You try it, and you're dead.
Look, I think we got off to a bad start here. I'm Isaac.
Ellie. What do you want, Isaac?
I'm trying to get to the transport hub. I need to get to the government sector.
What do you think we were trying to do?
Hey, I can help you. Besides, we got a better chance if we stick together. Don't you agree?
It's not a chance, Isaac. Other people are just a liability. I'll release the door lock. But after that, you're on your own. And please, don't follow me, okay?
Wait.
New freaking character alert. This is Ellie. She's cool as shit. Like one of my favorite characters from this game. Very cool. She's going to be super relevant later on. But first, we're going to go through the nursery segment, which kind of explains a bit more and showcases a bit more all the themes about children that I was talking about earlier. And some of the shit is weird, dude. I can't lie, but I love it. I think it's really cool thematically. It's strange. It's a little off-putting. So here we are in the nursery, one of the coolest areas of the game, I think. We're having a little explore around. They're talking about time for recess. What does that even mean? There's like sounds of babies crying. We see this little crib walking around the floor. And we go up to this window, and you're like, yo, what the fuck is that thing? And it's this little baby, and he's got a little sack on him. And this lady's clearly gone a bit cuckoo, and she thinks it's like her kid. And so baby crawls up, she's giving him a hug, and then fucking boom, look at that. Baby fucking explodes in front of you. Gory as fuck, I can't lie. It covers it up a little, but like, dude, this was pretty shocking. Kind of knew it was gonna happen, but also still cool as fuck. And as I'm going through the nursery here, boom, I'm fucking tweaking, and there's red shit everywhere, and this is kind of what the market does. You get these like hallucination things going on, and there's whispers and whatnot. And it's Nicole speaking to us. She's like manifesting as our guild, because of the fact that we kind of sent her to her death by encouraging her to go to the Ishimura. But that's not, hey, it's not our fault. She has agency over her own free will. She's making these decisions. But yeah, cool little interaction every now and again that happens throughout the story. And then in this sequence, we're straight up murking hella babies. We're killing hella children. They're okay, hold on, not like actual children. They're necromorphs, but I think the scene is like very, very symbolic of just how bad unitology is. I think we're supposed to symbolize unitology and how they're just like killing children by doing this. They're ruining people's lives for no reason. Then we have, this scene made me uncomfortable. I'm killing a bunch of babies and it feels wrong because I know they were people at some point. And there's a bunch of babies that are now just like evil. And I think this is supposed to be thematically expressive of just how bad unitology is, which seems to be this game's motif. It's just very much reinforcing the idea that unitology is bad. But in the first game, we're dealing with grown-ass people. It's a little different, when kids are involved, there's a little bit more of a moral and ethical dilemma. I wouldn't say dilemma, there's not really any justifying unitology. It's pretty fucked up. Unfortunately, I lost like a whole chapter of footage. I didn't realize that I'd run out of storage to record. So I'm just going to show you what the Dead Space 2 Brute looks like here, because I missed the scene where he shows up. But story-wise, he shows up when Stross and Ellie meet up. So now we're like a little trio, a little three-man team. But I feel like the Brute looks so much better in this game. He's got these big armor pads on, and he just looks bulky as fuck. Like, looks a lot more menacing than just this blob, which was just absurdly tanky in the first game. We are skipping ahead a little bit. Pretty much all we missed in the chapter that wasn't recorded was just that we met up with Ellie and Stross. That's when we run into the Brute. We can't quite get to them because they're on a different floor. We have to go realign the solar arrays so that we can reactivate the power. We can get back to our teammates, kind of thing. And so we go to do that, and we take this elevator. You can see me taking in the beauty. This game is quite beautiful. Like the sprawl looks quite good. It was made in 2011, so honestly, for a game that's like that old, it looks pretty good. It's a pretty nice looking environment. And then we get this really cool fight scene with these new types of necromorph enemies called the tripods. And the tripods have a very cool death animation, which I don't have because I'm too goated and I didn't die here. But I will show a video of it now. Very fun, very cool. It's a very low quality video. It's all I could find, unfortunately. Quite an old game, as I mentioned. Anyway, as we're going into the solar array area, we get this fun little challenge with this corpse. This took me a little while to figure out. I was kind of looking around, doing a whole bunch of nothing for a bit. But it is a cool challenge, and I like the fact that it uses a bit of a different technique and requires a bit more thinking power, and you actually have to listen to what these holograms are saying to understand what you need to be doing. So it's pretty cool. After this, we have some more of your, average enemy clearing, which I do want to talk about because I enjoyed it a lot more in this game. I felt like the enemies were less tanky, and then it puts less emphasis on clearing out enemies and more on like actual narrative aspects and also the horror aspects that this game does better. So I think it benefits from not being about clearing enemies as much, whereas in the first game they have a lot of health, so it's more about killing enemies. But also similarly, the resource management in this game is just as good as it was in the first game, and it still matters a lot that you're managing what you have. This is me messing up a little bit and just getting straight up slimed by the door because I missed the quick time event, but that's chill. Yeah, some very creative death animations in this game, which I appreciate, not that I saw many. Next we have this fun minigame. Once again, they just do the minigames better in this game, I feel, than the first one. You're going to match up the tiles and the slots with the pattern on the floor, and then it unlocks this little thing so you can activate the mainframe or whatever the hell and bypass, I don't know, man, too many technical words, but it's a fun challenge, fun little minigame, and I think honestly this game does it a lot better. There's just very few instances of this in the first game, apart from the basketball minigame that has like, multiple moving parts that you need to join together to achieve an objective. A lot of the first game was just kinesising blocks around, and I found that quite tedious. Yeah, man, got me. For a little story update though, Stross is like fucking tweaking.
I'm on my way to the mirrors now. I have to realign them manually. How's Stross?
See for yourself. No, I'm not ready for the needle again. You have to let me out. I can't breathe.
Stross, what's wrong? Ellie!
He's waiting for me.
Yeah, so pretty much at the start of the game, Dana, even though she's an op, she tells us that Stross, he murdered his wife and his kid. And so now he's seeing his kid in the same way that we see Nicole. And he's low-key tweaking out, and he's like telling her to do these steps or whatever. And yeah, he's like not sure what to do about it. So he's losing his mind a little. But we know what we have to do, so we're going to align the solar arrays, which gives us this fun mini game. We got a big old tentacle hanging out. Not sure what he's doing. Got to deal with him, and then do this fun mini game where you get on the computer and move the solar arrays around, and it's in 0G, which is another thing that this game does better, is the 0G feels a lot nicer. In the original Dead Space 1, you have to aim and jump to a platform in 0G. In the remaster, which I played, you do get the 360 0G, but oddly enough, I feel like the 0G in this game felt a lot cleaner and a lot more user-friendly than the remastered one, which is interesting considering they're 12 years apart in development. After we finish aligning the solar arrays, we got to get to the transport hub, which is a little ways away, so we just get in the elevator and frickin' eject out of that John, and then we get a fun sequence which shows up a couple of other times in the game, and it's like this flying thing where you gotta like dodge the debris. It's been done before. I'm not sure if it had been done before at the time, but I feel like it probably had in like Halo or something. But it's still fun. It's still fun, and I definitely enjoyed these mini games. Yeah, I thought they were pretty sick, man. It's also very cool to be able to like take in the space environment. Once again, gonna talk about it because it looks really good. Dope as shit landing from Mr. Protagonist Isaac Clarke over here, though. Like, what the hell was that? That was awesome. Good stuff, Isaac. We meet up again with Ellie and Strauss, but we're locked behind this door, so we can't get to them. So we get to go through this little mini game, and we get to stasis some machines and slip through. Nothing special. We've seen it before. Still good fun, though. Tideman is trying to stop us because now he knows that we're trying to destroy the marker, and he's like, can't let that happen. So he keeps hacking our rig link and yelling at us for it. We then meet up with Strauss and Ellie and Dog. Strauss is tweaking. What's going on with this guy? He's literally losing his mind.
She'll be waiting. He's not gonna make it. We gotta keep moving.
There's an industrial transport upstairs. Runs on the same spoke as the commuter train. It should get us to government sector. One of us will have to deploy it from the gear house.
Asking. Stay here and I'll try to get him on his feet.
So that's our new objective. We got to get this little vehicle going so that we can get to the new sector. Quickly run now. You're going to see on screen, I can scroll through my locator and find the nearest store, bench, objective, and save station, which is pretty cool because in the first game, you can only use the locator to find the objective. In this game, there's no map, which there was in the first game, but the map is super clunky and non-intuitive. I don't rate it at all. And this locator system, way better. I like this a lot. And check this out, we got another new mini game going on. Look, it's the same premise of moving blocks around, but the thing is, it looks different, and I feel like that makes it less repetitive because it's a different look every time. It's the same premise, different look. You can also see that I got the Seeker rifle going, and just listen to how this thing sounds, bro. After we finish this, we meet up again with Strauss and Ellie on the transport, and this is where some crazy lore gets dropped. This is super important. I'm not even going to summarize it, I'm just going to let it play out because this is so interesting and was such a cool moment to play through.
Staring at me, Isaac. Through the holes in his head. Listen to me.
Stop staring at me. Stop it. Relax.
Isaac, we have to get out of here.
Right. Let's go. Oh my God. It can't be. That's the Ishimura.
Yeah. Used to be the pride of the CEC. It's a sad story, actually. I heard everybody on board died. Some sort of terrorist attack.
What? Terrorist attack? What happened aboard that ship was no terrorist attack.
What do you mean?
That's where all this started, Ellie. Everything that's happening here happened on that ship. I saw it. I was on board when it happened. Hey, what's happening?
I don't know. Something must be blocking the track.
Stay here. I'll take a look.
What the hell? CEC is covering their tracks and lying about it. Ellie actually works for CEC, which is how she knows this. Interesting tidbit of info that I forgot to give in my recap of the first game is we actually send out an SOS beacon, which we have to do by destroying this thing called the Leviathan, which is like blocking where we're trying to shoot it out from. It's this big creature that's a necromorph, and the SOS beacon gets picked up by this Earth Defense Force ship called the USM Valor. The USM Valor are like, hey, we're coming to pick you up and save you. So they come in, but they get attacked by the Leviathan, and then they crash into the Ishimura. And then when we get on board to explore, we find a nuke. And by listening to audio logs, we find out that, in fact, they were not there to rescue us. EarthGov actually sent the USM Valor to nuke the entirety of the Ishimura, which makes sense because EarthGov were trying to get rid of the marker so nothing else could happen. And clearly Daniels was feeding them information, saying that, come blow this up because nothing's going good. So yeah, it's all being covered up and lied about. So not cool at all, but it is very cool to see the Ishimura in this game.
In another situation, I might admire your persistence, Mr. Clark. But this is bigger than you and bigger than the lives of everyone on this station.
Sir, final preparations for attack are wrapping up.
Looks like it ends here. At this point, it's all just dead weight.
Isaac, what did he mean? What did he mean when he said dead weight?
He's using the solar beam. We gotta stop the transport now.
Oh, shit. He's cut the station in half. There's no track to get across on.
Back us up. Back us up to the station.
What? Why?
Just do it, Ellie. Hurry. The Ishimura. If the gravity tethers are still functional, I can...
You can snag Govsec and drag it back? Isaac, this is ridiculous.
If I can line the tracks up just for a few seconds, you should be able to get the transport across. Stay ready. And take care of Strauss.
Isaac, no. This is a really bad idea.
I'll stick around. I'm full of bad ideas.
Cold as shit line from Isaac there, I can't lie. But yes, this is what I was talking about when I was mentioning level design later in the game. We're going back to the Ishimura, and this is possibly the best segment of the game, apart from the very end. Like this is cool. We're gonna delve into a lot here. There's a lot of stuff to unpack, a lot of talk to about the story, and just environmentally, it's very, very cool to be on the Ishimura again. And everything is like 1-to-1 as well. They did a very good job. Here's just a quick little showcase at how freaking awesome the Javelin gun is and why I love it so much, and also how sick the brutes look in this game.
Isaac, they're swarming into the ship!
And we find out the centrifuge and the Ishimura is broken, so we gotta go repair that John. It's the same minigame pretty much as the main one. I don't even remember if there is really a minigame for the main one. You kind of have to run around in a circle, which you don't have to do in this one. But you get to do this fun little minigame, and then we get a very cool scene, which I'll show you now. So if you're a little confused, that's understandable. If you've played the first game, then you'd understand that that is the first time we get grabbed in the first game on the Ishimura. So it's like a hallucination of the first time we get grabbed. You can see me aim down sights because, you know, I played to the first game. I'm ready to rumble with this tentacle arm. But it's just a hallucination. It's all in our head. And then you can see me kind of connecting the dots and looking around a little. And then at the end of the hallway, you can even see the hole that the tentacle came through in the first game, except it's all like cleared out and been made to look like it's just a clean insertion instead of just an arm breaking through like it did in the first game. Then after like recovering some bits and bobs, we make our way to the captain's quarters. We get to go through the main auditorium, and then this happens. Now in the first game, when we make our way to the captain's quarters, that arm jumps out like that, and then that's the first time we run into a necromorph brute in the first game. So once again, we're having another hallucination because we're on the Ishimura. It's kind of setting us off, but it's really cool to see these callbacks to the first game, and this is kind of one of those situations, as I mentioned earlier, where I feel like Dead Space 2 benefits a lot in being a sequel because there's so much for it to build on and call back to, and that just helps the game narratively. And as a fan of the series and somebody who played through the first game, it's really cool to see callbacks like that. Also, Javelin gun mentioned, bro. Look at this thing. Look at how awesome I look. I just feel like such a badass when I'm using this thing, and it's cool as shit to be playing with this weapon. So we get to the captain's quarters, we reactivate the tethers, brings the thing closer. Ellie gets to the other side. We take an escape pod so that we can meet up with them. And dude, somebody come collect Stross, because this guy he's getting out of hand. Look at this.
I'm away. Ellie, did you make it?
Isaac, we crossed the track, but we're coming in hot.
I just need you to see what I see, Ellie. I promise it won't hurt.
Just put down the screwdriver.
Trust, no!
We then proceed to brace for impact, get to the EarthGov sector, and then we have this weird little hallucination when we black out.
Isaac, are you there? You're right, Isaac. The Ishimura is a great ship. I am so lucky to be serving aboard her. You made me stick with it. You made me stick with it. You made me stick with it.
It's gonna be okay. I promise. This won't hurt a bit. Love my heart and hope to die.
Trust!
Stick a needle in your eye.
Trust, goddammit!
So yeah, holy shit, Stross is like full gone crazy. He's stabbing Ellie in the eye, which is not that cool, I feel like. To be honest, I wouldn't be a fan of that happening to me, just my opinion. Nicole also tweaking out, she getting more angry with us. We feel more guilty for her death. What are we supposed to do? We're in a pickle. So we track down Ellie and we go freaking find Ellie, because she's in a pickle right now.
Why did you do it, Strauss?
I can't face it. I thought Ellie could. I had to make her see.
What can't you face? What's the last step?
It's what they were afraid of, that I'd kill her and destroy the marker. But you have to help. You need to see.
Strauss!
There you are, Isaac. We've been waiting for you. Now it's your turn.
Oh god. Ellie!
Step 3.
Ellie.
You owe me an eye, you bastard!
Someone get Strauss a pair of car keys, because this guy is not remotely in the right state of mind. No, this guy's full tweaking. He takes out one of Ellie's eyes. She comes up. King hits him or something. We get snatched by an arm. Lot going on. We're in space. We got to do some doohickey fixing and rounding. Pretty much gonna brush over this chapter a little bit because not all that much happens. We do run into Strauss again when we're going to look for this drill that Ellie finds in the EarthGov sector. So here's us interacting with Strauss a second time.
Strauss, what are you doing?
You have to face her for me. Tell her
me! See her! It's Isaac! Tell her! Trust! Step 3! Step 3! Oh god. Why did you do it, Strauss?
Alexis, if you get this, I love you. I would never do anything to hurt you or our son. After the sessions, I also seen you. But you're so mad, so angry. And you're scaring me. I want you to stop.
So, very unfortunately, we do slime Strauss out here. He was a liability to our cause, and when you stomp on his corpse, which is how you get loot in this game, I'm not just evil, I promise, but he drops an audio log, which is really sad. As I mentioned earlier, Strauss killed his wife and kid, but he records a voice message for his late wife, pretty much apologizing, saying that he would never hurt her or his kid, because he's forgotten who he was because of the dementia. And she is manifesting the same way that Nicole is for us, and staring at him and kind of is standing as an embodiment of his guilt, which is an effect of the marker, but it's affecting us in the same ways, which is pretty tragic. Yeah, Strauss has a pretty sad story in this game, and unfortunately that does not come to a happy end. But we must persist, we must prevail.
You are my everything. And if I let you go, I've got nothing left.
Step 4. Acceptance. Now you're ready to finish this.
Big lock-in from Nicole here, a little bit confusing, but these steps that Strauss has been talking about the whole game. Step 4 was acceptance, so we accept that we are holding on to Nicole when we shouldn't be, and that we feel guilty, and then she locks in, and she's like, alright, I'm going to show you how to do this, I'm going to help you out, like I did in the first game. So Nicole's on our side now, and we've also met up with Ellie, so we're getting this drill going, starting up this drill, and we're going to drill through to the EarthGov sector. Yeah, so that's the plan for the time being, and we just gotta fix this bad boy up and get going. Then we're drilling through to the EarthGov sector. We get this real fun board sequence where we're just fighting off hella necromorphs. Javelin gun mentioned, of course, because this thing is like the goat of all goats. So we're rocking the javelin gun. We get to the EarthGov sector, and turns out there's like a gunship that we can use at the EarthGov sector. So we're gonna get the freaking gunship.
Isaac, what are you doing?
Closing hatch.
Oh. Hey, Isaac, what are you doing?
Gunship command override confirmed.
Isaac! What are you doing? Open the door right now!
Emergency launch cycle initiated.
No!
Airlock sealed.
No! No! Don't you dare! Don't you dare launch the ship! Isaac!
This is your best chance, Ellie. You got life support, comms. Hey, you gotta be rescued.
You bastard!
I need you to be rescued. I couldn't save Nicole, but I can save you, Ellie. So, bye.
Are you ready to talk now?
Why? So I can let you go too? I can't do that, Nicole. think that's a good idea.
Isaac, please. Make us whole.
I can't.
Yep, so we save Ellie's life, and then Nicole always on some weird shit, man. Somebody get this girl. Like, she's always talking about some nonsense, and I just don't roll with it, I can't lie. Anyway, we're gonna freaking destroy the marker. Tideman sends out troops against us, so we deal with them troops, and then we just go on our way to get the marker. It's just a lot of killing enemies here, not much story-wise. And then we get some very important cutscenes going on here, which I'm going to leave uncut so that you guys understand what's going on.
Oh my god. I felt that. What? What are they doing?
They're all coming to the marker. Convergence is at hand.
I knew you were trouble from the start, but they told me you were necessary. That your mind was the purest. I spent years sifting through your demented brain. This is not the way it was supposed to happen.
Well, how was it supposed to happen,
We
Tideman?
had it under control! Clark, this is not our fault. We were so close to understanding it. It's all those bodies you let in here. It's triggering a convergence event. But we never expected this many bodies.
What the hell is it doing?
What it was made to do. Isaac, you have to make us whole.
Just like Straw said. I remember this. The machine activates the parts of our brain where the marker codes are stored. How does that threaten the marker? What were they afraid of?
Me. Us. Working together.
Step 4.
Yes. Are you ready?
This is gonna hurt, isn't it?
Yes. Step inside. Step 1. Crawl inside. Step 2. The screws go tight. All around. Cross my heart and hope to die. Stick a needle in your eye.
Nicole! Where are you?
Follow the light, Isaac. I'll be waiting for you at the marker.
Well, what do I do?
We do run into this thing though, which is this game's version of the Hunter Necromorph, which is like a necromorph that regenerates. This bad boy is actually called the Ubermorph. I thought it was a hunter originally, but yeah, it's called the Ubermorph, and it is the hive mind of this game. So this thing's actually leading the invasion, like the hive mind was in the first game. And there's actually no way to kill it, so you just have to deal with him. But he's real cool. His design is way better than the hunter. The hunter is ugly as hell, in my opinion. Ubermorph looks way cooler, and this is what I was talking about with the hacking sequences. You gotta hack while keeping him stasis, And it's just stuff like that that I think is pretty cool. Now, while all of that unfolds, I'm going to let that play on the background, the chase scene, but I am going to cover what just happened in those cutscenes, because a lot happened. So essentially, we built the marker. Isaac built the marker because when he was getting experimented on, they got what they needed to build the marker. And that's that huge big marker that we see in the chamber there. We built that. Well, not technically, but our knowledge did. And this convergence event they're talking about is like kind of like the revelations of unitology. So this is where they think that this is where they meet all their loved ones. After this is where the unity happens and everybody meets up. And that's what they believe in unitology happens. We know through Dead Space 3 that a convergence event actually is not that at all, and all it is a marker turns into something called a Brethren moon, which just makes it like super powerful. It turns it into like a moon, like a whole planet thing that is like this entity that's super powerful and so much harder to destroy than a marker. So it's really, really bad, because all a marker is like an infectious parasite. So a Brethren moon is super, super powerful, and that's what a convergence event causes a marker to turn into. As for the scene with the little machine where we get the information out, this is what the steps we're talking about. So all these steps that Stross are talking about where he's tweaking, he's actually talking about the machine. And the machine, gets the information out that we need so that we can destroy the marker. And we listen to Nicole, she runs us through it, and we get the information out so that we can then understand how to destroy the marker. So that's what we're going to do. That scene with the eye, super grotesque, super gross. You actually have to aim the needle when you're playing, which is like really off-putting, because I don't even want to look at the screen when that's happening. I don't know, I can't deal with needles and eyes. It just grosses me out. And now it's just straight trench warfare. We're killing all these necromorphs that are running at us from everywhere. We gotta get to the marker, we're fighting our way there. The Ubermorph is chasing us, we gotta blow that John up with the javelin gun. Javelin gun, my goat. We've got it fully upgraded here, and this thing is shredding, as you can see. I bought so much ammo for it because I just love that weapon so much. The Ubermorph is chasing us, so you gotta keep him at bay while you're trying to get to the marker. And this scene is super fun. You're just like absolutely battling through this trench. And real cool sequence here. Super fun to play through. I really like the ending of the game here, which is what we're closing up to. We're very close to the end here.
Thank you, Isaac. Now, time to die.
What?
Yours is the last body we need to be reborn. The Makers must be absorbed.
The Makers? You mean me? But Strauss said we can destroy the marker.
Not if we consume you first.
God damn it, I trusted you! Fuck you! The marker!
Yeah, baby, final boss time. We get to shoot Tideman's head off, which is sick, but also turns out Nicole's an op. Who could have guessed she's actually the marker, just mind controlling us again. Very cool. This is what she's talking about when she's trying to get us to touch her. She's like, please touch me, Isaac, make us whole. This is what she means, because if she does that, then she can get into our head and we can be absorbed by the marker. Because we made the marker, we're the last one that needs to be absorbed, and then that's what fully initiates the convergence event. So that's what she's trying to do here. And little cool tidbit here. Oh, what is this? All these brainwaves everywhere? What the hell? That's the main menu screen. So main menu screen is actually Isaac's brain, which is like pretty cool little tidbit here. Pretty tough boss fight, to be honest. This is my first death. There's a few cool things about this boss fight though that I'll show you. So if you actually are in the boss fight, so you need to damage Nicole to open up the marker, and then you shoot inside the marker where you're also fighting off all these shadow necromorphs. So this is, yeah, I died to the shadow necromorphs, but if you go up to Nicole and touch Nicole while you're in there, this happens. This is the death animation. Yeah, so very cool extra inclusion there. I thought that was quite cool. But here is my actual final boss fight, unedited, where I beat the game. Pretty awesome. Check this out. So you know this is it. Our hero sits down. He saved the day, saved the world, destroyed the marker, and he's happy to die here. I mean, he's done everything he can. You know, the marker's destroyed, everybody's safe, things are good. And so this is honestly such a peak ending. We're sitting here, Dead Space 2. The credits start rolling. I mean, what a way out. Like, he looks tired, man. He looks tired. We're getting the credits rolling. I think this is just an awesome way for things to go out for our protagonist. And he's been through a lot, so it's honestly possibly one of my favorite endings ever. The boss fight is incredible.
Complete bastard.
No!
Was this
No!
your
What the
plan?
hell? Ellie's back, bro! What is she doing?
Yeah, well, here's another one. I'm crashing through the roof to get you. Now move your ass.
Wait, no, Ellie, it's too late. Set clear of the station.
Yeah, well, you don't really have a say this time. Heads up.
Holy peak, dude. What an ending. That callback to the first game's ending and Ellie's little sassy little what? How awesome is that ending, man? That is like so good. You can hear me smiling, unfortunately. I don't know. I love this game. This game is incredible. You get a final little flight scene in the Zero G. I just think that's so sick. What a way to end the game. You know, things kind of went south here. EA and Visceral Games released Dead Space 3 in 2015 it was, I believe, or 2013 perhaps. Unfortunately, Dead Space 3 is not a horror game because EA believed that action sells. So Dead Space 3 is more of a looter shooter, and it's just not as good. I mean, the story is a little convoluted. Honestly, series could end here and it would be incredible. Yeah, I mean, the ending is great. The callback to the first ending is so cool with the music and all, and the fact that we don't even see Ellie till the very end. But I think this is such an incredible way for things to go out. And once you get to the main menu after you finish the game, you can see that there's a little red marker here, which is, I mean, I don't know, I don't understand the implications there, but it's just a cool little nod. You know, because at the start it was just the brainwaves, but now that we've destroyed the marker, we've got it in Isaac's brain, which is pretty cool. But with that does mark the end of Dead Space 2 and the end of this rather leisurely video essay. A lot of this was unscripted, in case you couldn't tell, purely just coming from passion, just straight from the heart. Did some research, and following the release of Dead Space 3 in 2013, which was not received well at all by the fan base, the Dead Space 4 game was cancelled. It was originally going to follow Ellie as the protagonist, but it was shut down, and Visceral Games then was closed in 2017, which means no more Dead Space. Until Motive picked up the franchise and EA remade the first game, which means there is a chance that we could be getting a Dead Space 2 remake. If that happens, I'll likely make a video on my opinions on it, because Dead Space 2 is probably one of my top 5 games of all time. I loved playing this game. I loved making this video. This is a screenshot of all my assets that I used for this video. So a lot of work went into this video, and if you actually watched the whole way through, you could be freaking goated. I don't know, like, yeah, this took a lot of work. Probably took a lot of work to watch. I hope that it was an enjoyable experience, because I don't really make videos anymore, let alone video essays. Probably something I might do in the future, because they are fun to make. But yeah, if you did watch the whole way through, I really hope you enjoyed my breakdown of the game. Yeah, I can't recommend these games enough. Dead Space 3 is still incredibly fun. The Steam Summer Sale is still up, so if you're on PC, get the games, $30, easy snag, and they are so much fun to play through. And yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. I really hoped everybody who watched enjoyed, and I don't know, man, go watch something else. I'll see you later. So there we have it. We have our new objective. We got to get this little oh my god! I'm just, unfortunately, I lost like a whole chapter of footage. Dude, am I fucking stupid?